And we're back with local musician Rick Hulett, and we're hearing this really interesting story about a realization, almost a dual world experience, being very present in the present, but also seeing and experiencing a whole nother world at the same time. And where we left off was you talking about the challenges. And so just to kind of bring us right back up to that point, do that and then tell us the rest.
So I became aware of this light, and I was aware that it was an intelligence. And the only way I can describe it is that a thought was transmitted to me from that light. And the thought was that I had been issued a challenge, that this cancer that I had was a challenge. And it wasn't a challenge just for me, it was a challenge for basically everyone I knew, that we all were going to have to respond to this.
Not a death sentence.
Not a death sentence, a challenge.
Yeah.
And that what was important was how I responded to the challenge. And that in fact, the way the universe evolves, the way it moves forward, is through challenges. Earthquakes, fires, natural disasters, they're challenges.
Right.
It's how we respond to them that's important. And then I had the strangest realization that this light, this intelligence, was me. It was me talking to myself, and I understood that throughout the universe, the key thing to all of us, to every piece of matter, is consciousness. And that consciousness is what's deep within our essence. You and I are the same person, essentially. Everyone that we know, everyone you've known, at our essence, are the same person. We're one thing moving forward.
Do you think at some level, definitely at a subconscious level, you've reacted or conducted yourself with that in your mind and just haven't really known it until that point? Or do you think it wasn't until that point?
It was the difference between having someone describe what swimming in a river is like and swimming in a river. You know, you can hear about it, you can have the description, but it's completely different from doing it.
Okay.
And I was in this. I was this.
Right.
You know, it was. You know, and honestly, I didn't know that I was going to tell you this until I told you.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to tell us
me
either.
I debated it. I thought, you know, this seems insane. This seems crazy. This is like a guy being abducted by a UFO, and it was that level of impact to me, and still is. But I just, on the way down here, I thought, I think I have to tell this.
Well, it sounds like it's dramatically impacted your life.
Absolutely.
And your perception of life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, how did that, from that realization, how did that play into your cancer and your treatment?
Well, you know, it became the overriding issue. After that, to kind of make the details of it a little shorter, I found a doctor in Washington, D.C., who not only treated this kind of cancer, claims to be able to cure it. He'd done 1,800 operations for this cancer.
And real quick again, what exactly was the cancer?
Okay, the cancer is called pseudomyxoma peritonei, which is a long-winded way of saying appendix cancer.
Okay.
And the way it works, your appendix actually secretes like a mucus, and that mucus became malignant and multiplied and filled my abdomen with this jelly-like substance. And if you let it go, it eventually just crowds out all your other organs and you die. So I went back on my birthday, July 9th, 2009, and had a 15-hour operation. They removed my gallbladder, my spleen, my appendix, my omentum, my peritoneum, 4 feet of large intestine, my sigmoid colon, part of my lymph nodes, part of my diaphragm, and then I spent a month in the hospital flat on my back with 13 tubes coming out of me. It was just the most incredible experience.
How are you feeling at that point?
I tell you, I was determined that I was going to go and have an experience that was really above all this. Not a chance. Not a chance. I was lost and confused. I was under the influence of so many drugs that I was pretty much confused the whole time. But I knew that the secret was to get up and get out of that bed. So as soon as they would let me, I just willed myself off the bed. You know, and I had 13 tubes, a couple of big like poles with all kinds of IVs and stuff. It took 3 people. And I would get up and walk down the hall.
Wow.
You know, maybe at first it's 5 steps and I had to go back. And then the next day it's 6. You know, it was just a slow, tortuous process. And slowly but surely I became stronger. And as I got stronger, I got this feeling of joy. Just incredible joy. I am alive, you know, and it's stuck with me. Every day I wake up and say, I am alive.
Yeah.
You know? It's the most incredible thing.
Yeah.
And you think about it, it's the most incredible thing that any of us are alive, you know?
And so you've, in many senses, I mean, you've got a new lease on life,
Absolutely.
Obviously, and you've had like a second chance.
Yeah.
And I mean, your eyes tell the story.
Yeah.
You
It's real.
that.
It's a real thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's a real thing that happened to me.
Yeah. And do you ever reflect on? I'm always interested in people who've had experiences. Obviously, they're all unique to the individual, but like, you know, an experience such as yours where it really changes your life. Do you look back on the rest of your life up until that point and sort of go, man, if I would have known this then? Or do you just kind of, you're just so grateful for where you are now that the past just doesn't really matter?
The past doesn't really matter. You know, I think I did the best I could with the information I had. Just like all of us. That's what everybody's doing, the best they can, you know? And just things are different now, and I'm just thankful that I'm here and that I understand some things that I didn't understand before, you know? And I, you know, one of the reasons I haven't told anybody about some of this stuff is I don't want to come off as some kind of preacher, because, you know, at my heart, I'm a beer drinking redneck. You know, I am. I don't buy a lot of this stuff, you know, but it really did happen to me, and I cannot deny it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think it's pretty tough to deny that, you know, we're all spiritual beings, and that, you know, you had a spiritual experience, it sounds like, and it just really resonated with you.
Absolutely.
So it probably goes without saying it influenced your music.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, I say totally. I don't know if anybody else notices, but I notice. You know, I'm still playing a lot of the same music, you know, doing the same things, but now it's like there's a deeper well I can draw from. I'm not always successful. Sometimes it works better than others, but that's what I'm after. I'm trying to get some mojo going when I play, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to just play anymore. I want something to happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to hear some of that in the next segment.
Great.
So,
Great.
Appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to hearing your music here in the next segment. And thanks for sharing that. You know, again, that wasn't exactly where I thought we were going. And I'm really glad you did, though. That was. I love hearing people's perspectives on life and people's life experiences, and that's what we were going to talk about, was your life experience. So I guess this is a big part of it.
It's the biggest event in my life, I think. So.
Yeah. All right, you guys, when we come back, Rick will play us some music, so don't go anywhere. Be right back.